Good day, everyone, and we're having Wayne Fyvie, a former Springbok, with us today, and it's good to be back on Meat Matters. Wayne, good day. Nice to have you here, and it's nice to talk to you.
Hey, great, yeah. Thanks for having me, Dilwald. It's lovely to be on your show and lovely to hear what you guys are doing.
Wayne, obviously, being a Springbok and a lot of eyes were fixed on you, on the team and everything. Maybe just give us some insight into what it meant for you to be a Springbok.
Sure, good question. I think if I had to use a quick story, when I was a young boy, my brother went to boarding school, and I took a photo, and I'll never forget it, with a little orange. There were those plastic orange rugby balls, which I used to kick around in the garden for many days. And we were obviously farmers, and my brother was going to boarding school, and he wanted a photo of me, So I said, well, take a photo with me with a rugby ball, because one day I'm going to be a Springbok, and you can tell your mates I'm going to be a Springbok. So obviously, like everything, I had a dream, and it was part of a journey, but it was great to be able to represent your country.
I think maybe just thinking back when I was much younger, the era in which you played and were part of the Springbok team, do you think it was different than what we currently see, or is it actually just the same, the people have just changed?
Yeah, it's a good question. I think, I suppose eras are all different, and I was very fortunate to play in a pretty strong era. Someone asked me who was my opposition, and the two loose forwards were Andre Venter and Ruben Kruger. So yes, they were quite a tough combination to dislodge, and Gary Teichmann, obviously the number 8. So I think it depends on the era, and also in those days you couldn't come off the bench unless the guy had a broken arm or was bleeding, or so we didn't get as many test caps as they do today. But I had a lot of fun being part of that environment, and obviously winning more than we lost, which was great.
At the time you played, maybe I just want to understand, was and is maybe today still, I don't know if you know, but is red meat a part of or was it part of your diet, and is it still part of your diet?
Yeah, I love red meat. To start off with, I think I grew up on a farm. My grandfather was a farmer. My father was a farmer. I'm not a farmer anymore, but I loved living on a farm. We used to eat, I think, a roast leg of lamb for lunch every day. So I must say, red meat is very much part of my diet. It's I've even, I think, done blood tests to check that it's still okay that I eat it, and I love it. I love red meat.
If you could maybe single out a cut, whether or not it's lamb or beef, what would it be? What would you braai? If you're a typical Saturday or Sunday you braai, what would it be?
Yeah, generally a lot more than I can eat.
Sure.
But yeah, you know what? I really do love lamb chops. I think it's I enjoy a little bit of fat on the meat, but generally a lamb chop for me will win it most days.
I tend to agree with you. Wayne, obviously, it ends somewhere. Being a Springbok, somewhere it stops, it ends. So what have you done after your rugby playing career? What are you doing currently?
Yeah, I think everybody, rugby is just a part of a journey. So while I was playing rugby, I got involved in a business and invested in it. Originally with Andre Joubert, and then bought him out. But yeah, we set up a business called Green Office, and we've got a purpose of really driving change in organizations around making them more efficient and sustainable.
Well, as long as part of the process change should be that you need to braai more, it would be perfect, and I would agree that's the best way to do it. Wayne, maybe a last comment or two from my side. Being obviously part of South Africa, and this is I didn't ask you this beforehand, but How do you see the future of South Africa? I mean, you're still here. I don't know if you ever had the opportunity to leave South Africa. Maybe just to give us a glimpse of how do you feel about South Africa? Obviously, still doing business here, but what is your thoughts on South Africa today in 2023?
Yeah, I think it's a very good question, and I don't want to be the ostrich and put my head in the sand and say like there are no problems. I'm a South African. I love South Africa. I love everything about it. I think we spoke about it earlier around people, and people are, the majority of the South African people are good human beings, and I just think there's feels like there's a big drive amongst people and community to get this place right. There's lots to fix, but you know what? If you've got good leadership and good people, it can change very quickly, and that energy, as long as it's in the right direction, everybody working together. I firmly believe that this is the best country in the world, and I have traveled around a lot. I haven't lived anywhere except for Wales, which I will definitely not go back there and live there. But for me, South Africa is number one, and I'm not going anywhere.
No, thank you for that. And I think that is what, while you were speaking, I think to myself, driving down the road, seeing people on the side of the road, we tend to forget that we see smiles everywhere. It's not always people frowning, always complaining, always shouting. I think we see a lot of people smiling, and specifically South Africa. We're actually enjoyable people, funny people, and I think we love South Africa and we love our braai, and I think it's here to stay.
Absolutely. That is one thing for sure. That's not going anywhere.
Wayne, I'd like to thank you. Thank you very much for speaking to us. I'm very glad to hear that you like red meat. And lamb for that matter, and we wish you all the best with your businesses. Staying in South Africa, you are definitely an icon and a legend with regards to what you've done in our sports history. So I'd like to just give you a hand and say thank you very much for joining us.
Awesome. Have a good one. Thanks for the time. Really enjoyed it. Cheers.
Thank you, Wayne. Have a good day.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.